Become the person who attracts success. Imagine two people starting with the same talents and opportunities. One of them seems to turn everything they touch into gold. Promotions, achievements, and new opportunities fall into their lap. The other works just as hard, yet struggles for every inch of progress. Why does success cling to one person like a magnet, while the other spends years chasing it in vain? It's easy to look at the high achiever and think they must have been born under a lucky star. We tell ourselves they have some advantage, better connections, more talent, or simply good fortune. But dig a little deeper and you'll find luck has little to do with it. The truth is, those who effortlessly achieve their goals create their own luck through the mindset they cultivate and the habits they commit to every day. Meanwhile, those left behind often, without realizing it, hold themselves back with self-doubt, procrastination, or inconsistent effort that pushes success away. The real secret is this: success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. When you intentionally develop certain attitudes and behaviors, you generate an energy that draws success toward you. Instead of running yourself ragged trying to catch a break, you can invite success into your life by transforming yourself from the inside out. How? By following a set of guiding principles that build a winning mindset, ironclad resilience, and purposeful action. Let's explore these 10 powerful principles, each one a step in becoming the kind of person whom success finds irresistible. Principle 1. Who you become shapes your destiny. Every single day, your choices and habits are painting a picture of the person you are becoming. Think of your life as a canvas. Each action, each thought, each decision is a brushstroke. What kind of picture are you painting? Are you deliberately creating a masterpiece, or are you allowing life to scribble a story you don't recognize? The truth is that success in life is not merely a tally of external achievements. It's a direct reflection of who you are at your core. The way you think, the way you act, and the way you carry yourself all determine what opportunities and outcomes you attract. The world responds to your inner state. If you want to attract greatness, you must cultivate greatness within. This journey of success begins on the inside with your mindset, your discipline, and your everyday actions. Every decision, no matter how small, lays another brick in the foundation of your future self. Consider those people who naturally command respect the moment they walk into a room. You've likely met someone who exudes quiet confidence and purpose. They don't need to boast or demand attention, because their character speaks for itself. This kind of presence isn't a fluke of birth or luck. It is the result of years of intentional inner work, a conscious choice to grow, to reject mediocrity, and to build an identity rooted in strength and ambition. These individuals have crafted themselves into people worthy of. Become the person who attracts success. Imagine two people starting with the same talents and opportunities. One of them seems to turn everything they touch into gold. Promotions, achievements, and new opportunities fall into their lap. The other works just as hard, yet struggles for every inch of progress. Why does success cling to one person like a magnet, while the other spends years chasing it in vain? It's easy to look at the high achiever and think they must have been born under a lucky star. We tell ourselves they have some advantage, better connections, more talent, or simply good fortune. But dig a little deeper and you'll find luck has little to do with it. The truth is, those who effortlessly achieve their goals create their own luck through the mindset they cultivate and the habits they commit to every day. Meanwhile, those left behind often, without realizing it, hold themselves back with self-doubt, procrastination, or inconsistent effort that pushes success away. The real secret is this: success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. When you intentionally develop certain attitudes and behaviors, you generate an energy that draws success toward you. Instead of running yourself ragged trying to catch a break, you can invite success into your life by transforming yourself from the inside out. How? By following a set of guiding principles that build a winning mindset, ironclad resilience, and purposeful action. Let's explore these 10 powerful principles, each one a step in becoming the kind of person whom success finds irresistible. Principle 1. Who you become shapes your destiny. Every single day, Your choices and habits are painting a picture of the person you are becoming. Think of your life as a canvas. Each action, each thought, each decision is a brushstroke. What kind of picture are you painting? Are you deliberately creating a masterpiece, or are you allowing life to scribble a story you don't recognize? The truth is that success in life is not merely a tally of external achievements. It's a direct reflection of who you are at your core. The way you think, the way you act, and the way you carry yourself all determine what opportunities and outcomes you attract. The world responds to your inner state. If you want to attract greatness, you must cultivate greatness within. This journey of success begins on the inside with your mindset, your discipline, and your everyday actions. Every decision, no matter how small, lays another brick in the foundation of your future self. Consider those people who naturally command respect the moment they walk into a room. You've likely met someone who exudes quiet confidence and purpose. They don't need to boast or demand attention, because their character speaks for itself. This kind of presence isn't a fluke of birth or luck. It is the result of years of intentional inner work, a conscious choice to grow, to reject mediocrity, and to build an identity rooted in strength and ambition. These individuals have crafted themselves into people worthy of success, and in turn, success flows naturally into their lives. One striking example: Edwin C. Barnes had nothing but a burning desire to work with the famous inventor Thomas Edison. He had no money or connections, but he imagined himself as Edison's partner and took action toward that vision. Barnes started in a menial job with Edison, but he persisted and seized a chance when it came, ultimately becoming Edison's business partner, exactly as he had envisioned. Similarly, Henry Ford faced repeated failures and ridicule for his dream of bringing affordable cars to the masses. Yet his unwavering self-belief and determination not only brought his dream to life, but also revolutionized an entire industry. In each case, these individuals became the kind of person who attracted the success they sought. They thought, spoke, and acted like their vision long before it became reality. So ask yourself, who do you need to become to achieve the success you desire? The answer isn't about putting on a false persona or pretending to be someone you're not. It lies in aligning your identity with your aspirations. If you dream of wealth, start thinking and making decisions like someone who knows how to build wealth. If your goal is to be a leader, begin to communicate and carry yourself with the integrity and confidence of a true leader. Success is not a distant, random lightning strike. It is the natural consequence of becoming the person who is capable of attaining it. There is a reason some people attract opportunities as if by gravity, while others struggle endlessly. It all boils down to identity. Your identity dictates what you believe you're capable of, and those beliefs direct your actions. When you shift how you see yourself to match the life you want, you start operating with certainty and purpose instead of wishful thinking. You move differently, with intention, and the world can't help but take notice. Too often, people exhaust themselves chasing success as if it were something outside of them to catch. They end up frustrated and unfulfilled because they were running in the wrong direction. Success isn't pursued in that way. It's attracted. The moment you truly embody the qualities of success, it begins to flow toward you as a natural byproduct of who you are. It's not about desperately chasing money, status, or recognition. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally earns those rewards by virtue of their character and actions. Remember, your life is your masterpiece, and every day you hold the paintbrush in your hand. You have a choice. Will you paint something extraordinary, full of bold strokes toward your dreams, or will you let life randomly splatter paint across your canvas? Choose to start shaping your identity today, step by step, stroke by stroke, and watch as success begins to follow in ways you once only imagined. Principle 2. Set goals with purpose and precision. Success is not an accident that happens to you. It is a project you design. Achieving your dreams starts with clearly defined goals. Yet too many people live life in reaction mode, drifting wherever the current takes them. They hope that, by some stroke of luck, success will land in their lap. But here's the hard truth. If you don't decide exactly what you want, you'll end up with whatever life hands you, or worse, what others decide for you. Lasting success isn't a coincidence. It's intentional. It rewards those who take charge of their destiny through purposeful goal setting and planning. Every successful person you admire began with a clear vision of what they wanted to accomplish. They didn't just say, "I want to be successful," and leave it at that. They defined their ambitions in vivid detail. Your goals must be specific, actionable, and meaningful to you. When your targets align with your deepest values and purpose, they become a powerful force pulling you forward, even on days when motivation runs low. A vague wish won't survive the first obstacle, but a clear, passionate goal will push you to find a way around it. Let's break this down. Simply saying, "I want to be successful," means very little. What exactly does success look like for you? Define it clearly. For example, is your success achieving financial freedom and security for you and your family, becoming a top expert in your field, or mastering a valuable skill, making a meaningful impact in your community or industry? By pinpointing what you truly want, you transform a fuzzy dream into a concrete target. Clarity gives you power. The more precisely you can describe your goal, the more focused and effective your actions can be. Once you know your destination, map out the path to get there. Take your big goal and break it into smaller milestones and steps. If your aim is to start a successful business, ask yourself, where do I want to be 1 year from now? What milestones should I hit in 6 months? What can I do in the next 30 days to move forward? Make your objectives measurable and time-bound. Maybe you need to develop the prototype this quarter, secure funding by mid-year, or gain your first 100 customers by year's end. Whatever it is, define it. Success loves structure. Without clear milestones and deadlines, even the best intentions can fade into procrastination. With them, you have a roadmap to hold yourself accountable. Goal setting, however, is only half the battle. A plan on paper means nothing without execution. Execution is everything. Your goals should scare you a little and excite you a lot. They should stretch you beyond your comfort zone, because no one ever achieved greatness by staying comfortable. If your ambitions don't challenge you, they won't change you. And remember, a goal without action is just a wish. There are countless dreamers in the world, but the people who succeed are the ones who wake up and do something about those dreams. The difference between those who merely wish and those who win is the courage to act consistently. History proves this point. Consider Thomas Edison. He didn't sit around hoping for a light bulb to invent itself. He set a clear goal to create a working light bulb and proceeded to test thousands of different filaments and designs until he succeeded. Or look at Henry Ford. He envisioned a world where automobiles were not luxury items for the few, but affordable machines for the many. That goal drove him to innovate assembly lines and production techniques relentlessly. These great achievers did not get lucky. They built their success brick by brick, through clear vision and unyielding perseverance. The key ingredient tying goals to results is consistency. Small steps, taken day after day, compounding to extraordinary outcomes. You can't climb a mountain in a single leap. You reach the summit by taking it one step at a time. Even if progress feels slow, each step forward is strengthening your momentum. Discipline and persistence are your allies here. They keep you moving toward your goal when excitement wears off or challenges arise. Success is not reserved for the smartest or the strongest, but for those who stick to their plan and refuse to quit. So decide what you really want and set your goals today. Write them down, break them down, and then take action. Commit to the journey, knowing that every effort is building toward that vision you painted. Don't wait for the stars to align or for someday to come. Start now. With clear goals and purposeful action, you won't be chasing success at random. You'll be deliberately creating it, step by step, day by day, on your own terms. Principle 3. Turn setbacks into comebacks. Life will test you, make no mistake about it. On your journey to success, you will inevitably stumble and fall. But here's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. It's not the number of falls that matters, but the number of times you stand back up. Setbacks, failures, disappointments, these are not the end of the road. In fact, they can be the beginning of a new, stronger chapter if you choose to see them that way. Resilience. The ability to keep going in the face of adversity is what separates the winners from everyone else. The key to bouncing back is to reframe how you view failure. Rather than seeing a failure as a dead end or a verdict on your worth, start seeing it as part of the process of growth. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's often a necessary step on the way to success. Every setback carries a lesson. Every challenge presents an opportunity to grow. When you get knocked down, you have a choice: stay down and accept defeat, or rise up tougher and wiser than before. The obstacles on your path aren't there to stop you. They're there to strengthen you. Just as muscles grow stronger by facing resistance, you grow more capable every time you overcome a hurdle. History is filled with inspiring comeback stories. Take Abraham Lincoln as an example. He lost multiple elections and even endured personal tragedies before ultimately becoming one of the greatest U.S. presidents. Each defeat could have convinced him to quit, but instead each one taught him something and steeled his resolve. He learned, adjusted, and kept moving forward until he achieved his vision. If he had given up after the first or second failure, the world might never have known his name. It's a reminder that defeat is not permanent unless you quit. So how do you develop this kind of resilience? It starts with your mindset. Train your mind to see struggles as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. When things go wrong, resist the temptation to ask, "Why is this happening to me?" And instead ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" Shifting that simple question transforms you from a victim of circumstances into a student of life. The sooner you extract the lesson from a difficulty, the sooner you can apply it and move forward. Mentally strong people don't dwell on their misfortunes. They analyze what went wrong, adapt their approach, and take action. They refuse to let external events control their inner attitude. In every setback, they look for an insight or a skill to carry into the future. Resilience also means embracing discomfort. Remember, growth never happens in your comfort zone. The moment you challenge yourself and push beyond your familiar limits, you're stretching your capacity. It might be uncomfortable or even painful, but that's the price of becoming stronger. Each time you venture into the unknown and persist through hardship, you lay down an unshakable foundation for future success. In fact, many of the greatest achievements in history were accomplished by people who were willing to endure great struggles to reach their goals. They understood that the road to excellence is often rugged and steep, but the view from the top is worth the climb. Think of your ability to bounce back as a muscle, one that you can strengthen with practice. The more you exercise resilience, the more unstoppable you become. Truly resilient people aren't those who never fail. They are those who never stop trying. They understand that failure is temporary, but quitting makes it permanent. They might get knocked down 10 times, but they'll get up 11. With each comeback, they grow more confident that no difficulty can hold them down for long. When life knocks you down, and at some point it will, remember that success isn't about avoiding every hardship. It's about overcoming them. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep pressing forward. Every step you take after setback is a step closer to your goal. Over time, you'll realize that those setbacks you thought were pushing you backward were actually propelling you forward, teaching you the resilience and wisdom needed to succeed. Resilience isn't just a one-time act of courage, it's a way of life. Embrace it, master it, and you'll find that nothing can break you on your path to greatness. Principle 4. Embrace the unshakable power of self-belief. The most powerful asset you have on the road to success is the belief you have in yourself. Before the world will believe in you, you have to believe in you. Self-belief is the bedrock of every great achievement. It's the silent force that drives ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary things. With it, you find the courage to defy the odds, rise above your circumstances, and claim the life you know you deserve. Without it, even the best plan can falter. Often, the greatest barriers to success aren't outside us at all. They're the doubts, fears, and negative stories we tell ourselves. Those internal doubts are the real enemies of achievement. Think about a moment when you lacked confidence. Maybe you passed up a promising opportunity or hesitated to voice your ideas because you weren't sure you were good enough. Was that feeling based on fact, or was it rooted in fear? More often than not, our self-doubt has little to do with reality, and everything to do with fear of failure or memories of past criticism. The truth is, if you don't believe in your own potential, it's hard to convince anyone else. But here's the good news. Just as doubt is learned, self-belief can be learned as well. You have the power to change the narrative in your head at any moment. Believing in yourself is a choice, and a skill that grows with practice. Think of self-confidence like a muscle. You strengthen it each time you push through doubt and prove to yourself what you're capable of. Start small if you need to. Set a modest goal and follow through. Then set a slightly bigger goal. Each win, no matter how small, is like a deposit into your confidence bank. Over time, those deposits add up. Every time you tackle a challenge or learn a new skill, you give yourself evidence that, yes, I can do this. Bit by bit, you replace uncertainty with assurance. History is full of people who succeeded because they believed in themselves when others did not. Walt Disney was fired for lacking creativity. He went on to create an entertainment empire. The Wright brothers were laughed at for attempting human flight. Their belief literally launched the aviation age. Henry Ford was ridiculed for insisting he could make automobiles affordable for everyone. He stayed confident and revolutionized transportation. These people weren't especially lucky. They simply refused to let doubt or criticism stop them. True confidence isn't about arrogance or thinking you're infallible. It's about knowing that you have value and that you can improve and adapt. Believing in yourself means acknowledging your strengths and also recognizing your ability to learn from mistakes. It's quiet and resilient, more a steady inner assurance than a flashy display. With genuine self-belief, you silence the inner critic that tells you, I can't, and you replace it with a firm voice that says, I can, and I will. When you carry that kind of conviction, even if you stumble or fail, you don't crumble. You understand that a failure doesn't define you. It's just a message that you need to try again or try differently. This mindset keeps you moving forward when others might quit, because at your core you trust that you will find a way. When you truly believe in yourself, amazing things start to happen. Your mindset shifts from hoping for success to expecting it. Instead of seeking permission or validation from others, you give it to yourself. This internal shift changes how you present yourself to the world. You walk and speak with a sense of purpose and confidence that people around you can feel. Opportunities that you once thought were out of reach begin to appear, almost as if your confidence is a magnet pulling them in. And it is, in a way. People naturally gravitate toward individuals who believe in themselves because that certainty is inspiring and reassuring. Think about it. We all find it easier to trust someone who clearly trusts themselves. By cultivating strong self-belief, you radiate an energy that attracts support, cooperation, and yes, success. Of course, maintaining self-belief doesn't mean you'll never have doubts. Everyone has moments of insecurity. The difference is that instead of letting those moments stop you, you acknowledge them and move forward anyway. You remind yourself of how far you've come and what you've already overcome. Each time you do, those doubts lose a little more of their power. Over time, you develop an inner voice that is encouraging and steady, one that guides you through challenges rather than undermines you. This is what it means to have unshakable self-belief. Not that you never feel uncertainty, but that you know deep down that you can handle whatever comes. The courage to believe in yourself, especially when the odds seem stacked against you, is the spark that ignites most success stories. Every great champion, entrepreneur, or leader started out as someone with a dream and the determination to say, I can do this, even when there was no proof yet that they could. They chose to believe first, and then they made that belief a reality through action. You can do the same. Don't wait for confidence to come from outside. Choose it from within. Decide right now that you are capable of reaching your goals. Not someday, when you feel more prepared, but today, in this very moment. Act as if success is certain through your effort and perseverance, and that certainty will drive you to do what's necessary to achieve it. The sooner you embrace your own potential, the sooner the world will too. Self-belief is contagious. When you truly believe in yourself, it encourages others to believe in you as well. More importantly, it fuels your own actions. You'll take on challenges that you once avoided, and you'll persist where you once might have given up. In the end, the moment you fully believe in yourself is the moment you become unstoppable. With that unshakable faith in your abilities, there is virtually no obstacle you can't overcome and no dream beyond your reach. Principle 5, discipline. The key that opens all doors. If there's a secret weapon in the quest for success, it's discipline. Talent, intelligence, and luck are all helpful, but discipline outshines them because it determines whether you actually use your talent or seize your luck. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even on the days you're tired, unmotivated, or tempted by distractions. It is the bridge between setting a goal and actually achieving it. Many people say, "I'll work on my dream when I feel inspired." But the high achievers of the world do not wait for inspiration. They rely on discipline. They understand that motivation is fleeting and unreliable, whereas discipline will carry you through no matter what mood you're in. To see discipline in action, consider how top performers behave. Elite athletes drag themselves to early morning practices and intense workouts, even on days when their bodies feel heavy and their minds would rather rest. Successful entrepreneurs keep building their business and serving their customers, even when no one is applauding them and the initial excitement of the venture has worn off. Great writers and artists sit down to create every day, even when inspiration is absent and the work feels difficult or mundane. What do all these people have in common? They don't wait to feel like doing the work. They just do it. They know that success is built on consistent daily habits, not on occasional bursts of effort. The star athlete doesn't train only when it's convenient. The thriving entrepreneur doesn't work only when they're in the mood. The prolific writer doesn't write only when the muse strikes. These individuals have made discipline a habit. The secret to their success isn't that they always want to put in the effort. It's that they do it regardless. They show up and give their best, day after day, come rain or shine. By doing so, they turn ordinary days into extraordinary results. Discipline, like a muscle, grows stronger the more you exercise it. And just as you wouldn't go straight to lifting a 300-pound weight on your first day at the gym, you don't have to start with grand gestures of willpower. Begin with small acts of discipline and build from there. Set your alarm a bit earlier and actually get up when it rings. Decide to finish a task you've been procrastinating on and stick with it until it's done. Commit to a simple daily routine, like spending 30 minutes learning a new skill or exercising, and follow through consistently. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how minor, you reinforce a powerful message. I have control over my actions. Over time, these small wins compound. What starts as a 10-minute daily habit can grow into a transformative routine that propels you toward your goals. The key is consistency. Doing it not just once or twice, but repeatedly until it becomes second nature. Make no mistake, discipline is the foundation of all success. You can have a brilliant idea or a lofty goal, but without discipline, it will remain out of reach. Think about it. A genius plan means nothing if it's never implemented. A $1 million idea is worthless if you don't follow through. On the other hand, even a modest plan can lead to great things when paired with steady, disciplined execution. There's a famous adage, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Discipline is what ensures that you work hard consistently. It levels the playing field by allowing someone of average talent to outperform someone with more natural ability who lacks drive. In short, discipline turns potential into reality. Take a moment to examine your own daily habits. Are they aligned with the success you want? If you say you want to write a book, are you writing a bit each day or just thinking about it? If you aim to get fit, do your daily choices reflect that goal, like exercising and eating healthfully? Or are you waiting until next week to start? Be honest with yourself. If your everyday actions aren't moving you closer to your aspirations, it's time to change those actions. Success isn't about what you do occasionally. It's about what you do consistently. Every single day, your choices are either building the life you want or eroding it. The sooner you replace bad habits with good ones, the sooner you'll see progress. Remember, the small disciplines, making that phone call, studying for that exam, saving that extra dollar, sticking to that workout, are what eventually lead to big achievements. Developing discipline will not always be comfortable. In fact, you can count on encountering days when you want to quit. The journey to any worthwhile goal is long and sometimes tedious. You might face moments when you're exhausted, when you feel discouraged by a lack of immediate results, or when distractions seem endless. This is when discipline matters most. It's the voice in your head that says, keep going. You'll thank yourself later. When every fiber of your being wants to take the easy route. Each time you listen to that voice and push forward, you strengthen your resolve. By not giving in to short-term temptations, you set yourself up for long-term triumphs. So don't wait for motivation to strike, and don't search for a perfect moment to begin. Start now. Train your discipline like the vital muscle it is. Set a schedule for your efforts and stick to it. When you feel the urge to procrastinate, remind yourself that your future success depends on what you do today, not someday. Over weeks and months, you'll notice something extraordinary. The consistency that felt hard-won at first will become part of who you are. Your disciplined actions will turn into habits, and those habits will drive remarkable results. In the end, success comes to those who persist. Be that person who shows up every day, does the work, and never stops pushing forward. With discipline as your ally, there is no door to success that you cannot unlock. Principle 6. Pursue lifelong learning and stay adaptable. In a world that's changing at breakneck speed, continuous learning and adaptability are your lifelines. What worked for you yesterday might not work tomorrow, and the knowledge you have today might be outdated next year. The most successful people know they must keep evolving. They don't cling to old ways just because that's how it's always been done. Instead, they embrace change, learn new skills, and adjust their strategies as needed. Being a lifelong learner, someone who is always absorbing, questioning, and growing, gives you a tremendous advantage in life. It means you can adapt to new circumstances, stay relevant, and seize opportunities that others might miss. There's a saying, knowledge is power. But in truth, applied knowledge is power. You can read every book and attend every class, but if you never put that knowledge to use, it's like having a treasure map and never digging for the treasure. Real learning is an active process. It's not about passively soaking up information. It's about leveraging information to improve yourself and your outcomes. Reading about a new technique at work won't change anything unless you try it out. Hearing great advice on how to be healthier won't make a difference unless you implement it in your daily routine. Growth requires action. It demands that you step out of your comfort zone and practice what you've learned. Yes, this can be uncomfortable. Trying new things often is. But that's the price of improvement. Equally important is the willingness to adapt. Lifelong learning isn't just about accumulating facts or skills. It's about being open-minded and flexible in the face of change. If you insist on doing things exactly the way you always have, you'll eventually hit a wall. The moment you start thinking, I know it all, is the moment your growth stops. In contrast, if you maintain the mindset that there is always more to learn, you'll continue to evolve. The best leaders and innovators remain students at heart. They are curious. They listen to younger generations, explore new technologies, and are willing to unlearn old assumptions. This adaptability means they can navigate shifting trends and unexpected challenges far better than someone who stubbornly resists change. Think of your mind as a blade that needs regular sharpening. If you never challenge your mind with new ideas or skills, it can become dull and less effective at solving problems. That's why successful people make a habit of sharpening their minds daily, whether through reading, taking courses, practicing new hobbies, or simply seeking out fresh experiences. They understand that personal development is not a one-time task you check off a list. It's a lifelong commitment. Every day is a chance to learn something that will make you better tomorrow than you were yesterday. Ask yourself this: Are you actively engaging in learning right now? Consider questions like, what am I learning today that will make me better tomorrow? It could be a new skill, a bit of knowledge in your industry, or even a lesson from a mistake you made. When was the last time I challenged my own perspective? Have you read a book or article that made you see the world differently? Are you seeking out conversations with people who have different backgrounds or ideas so you can broaden your understanding? Am I applying the things I've learned? It's easy to watch an educational video or read an inspiring piece and nod along. But the real test is whether you incorporate those insights into your life. Your honest answers to these questions are revealing. If you find you're not learning or not applying new knowledge, that's a sign it's time to change that. The gap between knowing and doing is where many people falter. Don't just collect knowledge, use it. Remember, knowledge without action is merely potential. But knowledge with action can change your life. The difference between someone who keeps growing and someone who stays stuck often comes down to this willingness to execute on new ideas. Those who succeed commit to feeding their mind on a regular basis. They read, they listen, they observe, and then they turn that knowledge into concrete actions. They take the theory and make it practice. This habit of continuous improvement means they're always a step ahead of the curve. Never forget that the world will keep turning and changing whether you embrace it or not. New innovations will emerge. Industries will evolve. Global circumstances will shift. You have a choice. You can either keep learning and adjust with the times, or you can resist and risk becoming irrelevant. Put simply, you must evolve to avoid extinction in the professional and personal sense. If you refuse to adapt, you'll find yourself clinging to the past while the world moves forward without you. But if you make a habit of learning and adapting, you'll not only keep up with change, you'll often find yourself leading the way. So be eager to learn at every age. Approach challenges and changes with curiosity instead of fear. When something new comes along, ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to my advantage? Cultivate that adaptability as a core strength. In a world that never stops changing, commit to never stop learning. Keep refining your skills, expanding your mind, and updating your approaches. By doing so, you'll ensure that you not only survive in a shifting landscape, but thrive in it. In the grand race of life, those who keep learning will always have the momentum to surge ahead. Principle 7. Choose your circle wisely. No one achieves success entirely alone. We are all influenced by the people we spend the most time with, for better or for worse. Think of your close friends, family members, and colleagues as your inner circle. Their attitudes, habits, and expectations, subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, affect your own. If you surround yourself with people who believe in growth and strive for excellence, their energy will inspire and elevate you. But if you're constantly around naysayers or underachievers who settle for comfort, they can dampen your ambition and pull you down to their level. In other words, your environment heavily shapes your mindset and trajectory. There's a well-known idea that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Consider what that means. If 4 of your closest friends are go-getters chasing big dreams, you're likely to be the 5th. If 4 of them are lazy or unmotivated, odds are you'll start to adopt those patterns too. Success isn't just about your own drive. It's also about the influence of those around you. The company you keep can either normalize high standards or normalize mediocrity in your life. Ambition is contagious, and so is complacency. If you hang around people who constantly complain and make excuses, you'll find yourself doing the same. But if you hang around people who are always looking for solutions and pushing forward, you'll be energized to do likewise. That's why smart, successful individuals guard their circle carefully. They choose to spend their time, as much as possible, with positive, driven people who bring out their best. They actively seek mentors who have achieved what they aspire to achieve, so they can learn and be challenged. They associate with peers who push them to level up, and they distance themselves from constant critics, negative influences, and anyone content with dragging others down. This isn't about being snobbish. It's about being intentional. Your time and energy are limited, and you have to invest them where they'll yield the greatest return for your life. Every interaction you have is either lifting you up or weighing you down, so choose those interactions wisely. It might be time to take a good look at the people you interact with the most. Ask yourself, Do my friends and associates encourage me to grow? Are they excited about my goals and supportive of my efforts, or do they roll their eyes and call my ambitions unrealistic? When I'm around them, do I feel inspired or drained? Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. Energized and motivated, or exhausted and demoralized? Do they challenge me in a good way? The right friends will push you to be accountable, to improve, and to reach higher. The wrong ones will enable your bad habits or dismiss your desire to change. The answers to these questions can be eye-opening. If you realize that certain people in your life are constantly negative, or if they discourage you from pursuing your dreams, it may be necessary to create some distance. This can be tough. We often feel loyalty towards longtime friends or even family members. But remember, you owe no one the sacrifice of your own growth and progress. Surrounding yourself with toxic or limiting influences out of guilt or habit does a disservice to your future. That doesn't mean you need to abruptly cut people out of your life without consideration, but it does mean prioritizing relationships that contribute to your growth. Make a conscious effort to cultivate a circle that reflects where you want to go, not just where you are. Seek out people who exemplify qualities you admire: determination, integrity, creativity, optimism. Spend more time with colleagues who are enthusiastic and successful in your field. Join groups or communities, in person or online, of individuals who are pursuing similar goals or self-improvement. Their progress will spur you on. Find mentors who have walked the path before you. Their guidance and belief in you can accelerate your journey. And equally important, be that uplifting person for others. As you rise, help your friends rise with you. Build a network based on mutual inspiration and support. Your circle sets the bar for what you consider normal. If everyone around you is pushing boundaries, you'll feel comfortable pushing yours. If everyone around you is making excuses, you might start lowering your standards. So elevate your surroundings. When you have a support system that truly believes in you and in self-improvement, there's no limit to what you can achieve. The conversations you have will be richer, the ideas you exchange will be more enlightening, and the standards you hold yourself to will be higher. Over time, you'll notice that having the right people in your life not only helps you reach success faster, it makes the journey more fulfilling. In summary, be deliberate about the company you keep. The people around you don't just influence your mood, they shape your beliefs, your decisions, and ultimately your destiny. Choose friends and partners who energize you, who challenge you to be your best, and who celebrate your wins. And as you grow, be willing to let go of relationships that consistently bring you down. It may require tough choices, but the reward is great. A life surrounded by encouragement, ambition, and positivity. With a wisely chosen circle, you'll find that success becomes a shared venture. And that journey is much more rewarding when you're lifting each other up. Principle 8. Embrace an abundance mindset. How you perceive the world plays a huge role in the kind of success you attract. Two people can face the same situation. One sees an exciting opportunity, the other sees an insurmountable problem. The difference lies in their mindset. An abundance mindset believes that the world is full of possibilities and enough success for everyone, whereas a scarcity mindset fears that there's a limited amount of good things, and if someone else wins, there's less left for you. Cultivating an abundance mindset is crucial if you want to attract success, because it determines whether you approach life with optimism and creativity or with fear and resentment. A scarcity mindset can be toxic. Imagine someone who constantly thinks, "There's not enough for me." They might say, "I never get good breaks," or "If that person gets ahead, that's one less spot for me." This way of thinking breeds anxiety, jealousy, and defeat. If you believe the deck is always stacked against you, you'll hesitate to take risks or share ideas. Why bother if you're convinced you'll lose out anyway? You may even feel bitter or resentful when you see others achieve something, because deep down you think their gain diminishes your own. Ironically, this attitude often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. By focusing on what's lacking and holding back, you fail to grow. Opportunities slip by because you're not looking for them, or you're too afraid to grab them, and your pessimistic expectations end up coming true. Now consider the opposite, an abundance mindset. This is the outlook that the world is full of possibilities and there's more than enough success to go around. If you have this mindset, someone else's victory doesn't make you feel smaller. It inspires you. You think, if they can do it, maybe I can too. You're willing to share ideas and collaborate because you know that two people can create something even greater together. You don't see life as a fixed pie, of which everyone gets a slice. You see it as a bakery. New pies can always be created. There are always more opportunities, more ideas, and more room to grow. This perspective fosters generosity and collaboration. Abundance-minded individuals are more likely to share knowledge, mentor others, and work together because they believe that helping others win won't make them lose. In fact, it might create even more success for everyone. They focus on possibilities and solutions, which means they tend to spot opportunities that a scarcity-focused person might overlook. Ultimately, the difference between those who thrive and those who struggle often comes down to perspective, not the situation itself. Challenges and obstacles happen to everyone. The question is, how do you interpret them? Someone with an abundance perspective looks at a setback and sees a lesson, maybe even a hidden opportunity to try a new approach. Someone with a scarcity perspective sees the same setback and might think, this always happens to me, I'm doomed. Consider how these reactions affect what happens next. The abundance thinker adapts and tries again, and probably succeeds eventually, while the scarcity thinker might give up or not even see a potential solution right in front of them. You truly do become what you focus on. If you constantly focus on problems, you'll notice every little problem and soon feel overwhelmed by them. If you focus on possibilities and solutions, you'll start noticing ways to overcome challenges. It's not magic. It's your brain filtering the world. Our minds tend to notice things that align with our beliefs. If you believe opportunities are out there, you will look for and find them. If you believe the deck is stacked against you, you'll find evidence of that and possibly overlook openings that come your way. Making the shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset takes conscious effort, but it can transform your life. Start by catching those negative, limiting thoughts and reframing them. For example, instead of thinking, I can't afford this, train yourself to ask, how can I afford this? This opens your mind to creative solutions. Instead of sighing, I'll never be as successful as that person, remind yourself, if they can do it, there's no reason I can't as well. By actively reframing your inner dialogue, you redirect your mind from helplessness to possibility. Another powerful tool to develop an abundance mindset is gratitude. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you reinforce the feeling that life is generous, not stingy. Take a few moments each day to appreciate what you have, your skills, your loved ones, even basic things like having a roof over your head or food on the table. This shifts your attention from lack to abundance. You begin to realize how much is already going right in your life, which builds a sense of plenty rather than deficiency. Gratitude is essentially seeing the abundance that's already present. Surrounding yourself with influences that promote an abundance mindset also helps greatly. Spend time with people who have positive, big-picture thinking, as we discussed earlier about your circle of influence. Their attitudes will reinforce your new outlook. Similarly, read books, listen to podcasts, or watch talks by people who overcame odds with optimism and creativity. Their stories will remind you that limitations can be transcended. At the same time, try to limit exposure to those who constantly speak in terms of scarcity. People who always complain there's not enough or that the sky is falling. While you can't avoid negativity entirely, you can make a conscious effort to balance it with plenty of positive, expansive perspectives. Adopting an abundance mindset doesn't mean ignoring reality or wearing rose-colored glasses. It means refusing to be ruled by fear of not having enough. It means trusting that whatever challenge arises, there is a solution or some good to be extracted. It's about choosing faith in possibilities over resignation. This shift in mindset will gradually change how you act. You'll likely become more proactive, more generous, and more willing to step outside your comfort zone. All of which, not coincidentally, tend to lead to more success. As the saying goes, change your mindset and you change your life. When you start to truly embrace abundance, you'll find that success flows more freely to you. Challenges become easier to overcome because you're no longer intimidated by them. And as you celebrate others' successes and learn from them, you create a positive feedback loop that brings more and more success into your own world. Principle 9. Let passion fuel you and purpose guide you. One of the greatest formulas for success is when passion meets purpose. Passion is the energy, excitement, and love you have for what you do. It's what makes you excited to get out of bed and pour your energy into a project. Purpose is the deeper reason why you do it, the meaningful goal or mission that gives your work significance. When you combine passion and purpose, you create an unstoppable force. Passion supplies the fuel, and purpose provides the direction. Many people have one or the other, but truly successful, fulfilled individuals usually have both. Passion is a fantastic motivator. It's that feeling of being alive and you're engaged in an activity you care about. When you're passionate about your work or goal, it doesn't feel like work in the same dreary way. You're willing to put in extra hours. You find joy in the process, and you naturally push beyond your comfort zone because you're excited. For example, an artist passionate about their craft might lose track of time while painting, or an entrepreneur passionate about their idea will eagerly work late into the night developing it. That's passion at work. It gives you the drive to work hard, not because someone is forcing you, but because you want to. Passion can make long hours feel enjoyable and challenges seem like interesting puzzles rather than burdens. It provides the energy that keeps you going, especially when things get tough. Without passion, work can quickly become a dull grind. With it, work feels like an expression of your true self. However, passion by itself isn't enough to guarantee success. You can be incredibly excited about something and still end up going in circles if you don't have direction. This is where purpose comes in. Purpose is your big why, the meaningful objective that guides your passionate energy. If passion is the burning desire to run, purpose is the compass that tells you which way to run. It gives context and focus to your enthusiasm. For example, you might have a passion for technology, but your purpose could be using that technology to improve people's lives. That purpose will help channel your passion into concrete goals and keep you on track when you face obstacles. Passion without purpose can sometimes lead to burnout or frustration. You might work hard at something you love, but if you're not sure why it matters or where it's leading, you can start to feel lost or disillusioned. On the flip side, purpose without passion can feel empty, like you're forcing yourself to chase a goal that doesn't genuinely excite you, which is hard to sustain. You really need both. Passion provides the joy in the journey, and purpose provides the meaning. Together, they are a powerful combination that can carry you through any obstacle. When you align your passion with a clear purpose, you become virtually unstoppable. Your work isn't just about hitting a target or earning a paycheck. It becomes a mission. This sense of mission gives you resilience. Setbacks don't defeat you as easily because you deeply care about why you're doing what you do. Challenges become easier to overcome because your purpose reminds you that it's worth pushing through the tough times. Moreover, having purpose can transform difficulties into learning experiences. If you know your efforts are contributing to something meaningful, even failures feel like stepping stones rather than dead ends. That said, it's crucial to remember that passion and purpose must be paired with action and discipline, echoing some of the earlier principles. There are plenty of passionate people who never quite reach their potential because they lack a plan or the perseverance to follow through. Passion might get you started, but habits and hard work keep you going after the initial excitement fades. Similarly, knowing your purpose is wonderful, but you have to pair that knowledge with concrete action steps. Otherwise, it remains just an inspiring idea. Think of passion as the spark and purpose as the enduring flame that keeps the fire going. To put them into practice, start by reflecting on what excites you and what deeply matters to you. What activities or causes are you naturally drawn to? What kinds of problems do you feel compelled to solve? The intersection of those answers can point you toward your mission. For example, you might love cooking, passion, and decide your mission is to bring people together with food, purpose. Or maybe you're skilled in business, passion, and feel driven to solve a social problem through entrepreneurship, purpose. Find that intersection and then act on it. Learn what you need to learn, set specific goals, and every day do something, no matter how small. That moves you closer to fulfilling that purpose. It's also important to remember that passion and purpose alone don't guarantee an easy ride. Many people are passionate, yet never achieve their dreams because they don't pair that passion with strategy and persistence. Likewise, you might know your purpose, but lack the follow-through to realize it. That's why you must combine your passion and purpose with a willingness to work, even on days when the initial excitement isn't there. Be ready to push through the mundane or difficult moments in pursuit of what matters to you. Set clear goals, build your skills, take calculated risks, and learn from the setbacks along the way. The people who truly change the world are not just those who dream big, but those who act on those dreams and stick with them. They keep their purpose in sight and their passion in heart, using both to fuel every step of their journey. If you do the same, if you fuel yourself with passion and steer with purpose, success isn't a matter of if, it becomes a matter of when. You'll achieve your goals, and more importantly, you'll do so in a way that feels deeply rewarding and significant. Principle 10. Take action, the bridge between dreams and reality. We've covered mindset, habits, resilience, self-belief, discipline, learning, your circle, thinking abundantly, and living with passion and purpose. Now it all comes down to this final principle. None of it matters if you don't take action. Action is the bridge between your dreams and the reality you create. You can possess all the knowledge, all the plans, and all the positive thinking in the world, but if you fail to act, nothing will change. Success is not something that simply comes to you because you deserve it or thought about it. It comes to you because you worked for it and went after it. The number one reason people fall short of their goals isn't lack of ability or opportunity. It's procrastination and hesitation. So many individuals wait for the right time, that mythical moment when conditions will be perfect and they'll feel completely ready. Don't fall into that trap. The right time is now. There will always be some uncertainty, and there will always be room to improve your plans. But waiting too long can mean missed opportunities. The most successful people aren't necessarily the smartest or the most prepared. They are often the ones who jump in and get started, adjusting as they go. They understand that you can refine your course as you're moving, but you can't steer a ship that isn't in motion. Think about it. The difference between someone who achieves their dreams and someone who doesn't often boils down to one simple habit: taking action consistently. High achievers feel fear and doubt just like anyone else, but they don't let those feelings stop them. They take the leap, even if they're not 100% ready. They start the business, even without knowing every aspect of how it will run. They apply for the job that's a stretch. They write the first chapter of the book, even though the whole plot isn't figured out. In doing so, they set things in motion. Sure, they might stumble or make mistakes at first, but each mistake is a lesson that brings them closer to their goal. Meanwhile, those who endlessly deliberate or give in to fear end up standing still, watching opportunities pass by. If you have a goal in mind, ask yourself what small step you can take today to move toward it. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the big picture. For instance, imagining the entire business you want to build or the degree you want to earn. And that overwhelm can lead to paralysis. The cure is action. Break the goal down and do the next immediate thing. It might be sending an email, doing an hour of research, signing up for a class, or practicing a skill for 20 minutes. No matter how tiny it seems, that action will give you momentum, and momentum is powerful. Once you're in motion, it's much easier to keep going and tackle the next step and the next. By now, you've armed yourself with a wealth of insight and preparation. You know success starts with the right mindset. You've set clear goals. You've built resilience for setbacks. You believe in yourself. You're cultivating discipline and continuous learning. You're surrounding yourself with positive influences. You're thinking abundantly, and you're fueled by passion and purpose. In other words, you've built a strong foundation. Everything is in place. Now you must build on it. And building means action. Don't wait for permission or an invitation. And don't wait until you feel more confident. Confidence often comes from doing. Every step you take will increase your confidence and competence. It's also time to stop overthinking. Planning and reflection have their place, but they should never replace action. Some people plan endlessly, drafting and redrafting their vision, but never actually implement it. Remember, a flawed plan put into action is better than a perfect plan that never leaves your notebook. You can adjust a course that's been set in motion. You can't adjust a stationary object. So take that first step, even if it's not perfect. you can learn and pivot as needed. So, what will you do today? What is one concrete action you can commit to right now after reading all this? It could be as simple as making a phone call, blocking time on your calendar to work on your project, or listing out the first few steps toward your goal and tackling the first one. Do it. Start building the habits we've discussed. Each day, do something that scares you a little or pushes you a bit further than the day before. In a week, you'll have 7 small victories. In a month, 30. In a year, you'll be astonished at how far those small steps have taken you. Always remember, the life you dream of isn't something that will magically appear one day. It's something you craft with your own hands, day by day. It's out there, waiting for you, but you have to go create it. Every principle we've discussed ultimately comes down to you taking initiative and becoming that person who naturally draws success. So step out and take action. Trust in what you've learned, trust in the strength you've cultivated within yourself, and go for it. The journey of 1,000 miles truly begins with a single step. Take that step, and then the next, and never stop. By doing so, you are, in this very moment, becoming the person who attracts success.